Oh, it's so beautiful though. I actually have like no clue what we're getting ourselves into with Apex Legends, but you guys seemed quite excited for me to check them out, so here we go, I guess. Now, as you guys can see, I'm wearing my PlayStation shirt. I was wondering if you guys managed to get in your Xbox or your PlayStation and you guys are excited for launch day. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to pre-order mine because, you know, that whole craze thing. But here's to hoping that they're gonna have some stock come in the first week of launch, because otherwise I am gonna look for them. I am gonna find them. And I am going to get one to play with. Because I don't know, guys, going through all the game cinematics in the Filmmaker Reacts episodes have really gotten me in the mood to like, it's time to game. Speaking about games, Monster Legend has brought to you guys today's episode. It is a free-to-play monster RPG-like game available for both Android and iOS, and by using my special link in the description, you're gonna get a sick head start with some sweet rewards worth $18. You collect and level up your monsters to take them into sweet bottles. There are hundreds of them to get, and you can actually select any two and breed them to create new ones, which is pretty cool. By feeding them, you have them grow into their badass Bunkai versions and then go fight everyone basically. There are different PvP modes, special dungeons, and the adventure map to go through. Another cool element which I am quite excited about is that you can fight your friends in real time and have them weep as you slay their monsters. Too competitive? No. There are new events to discover every week and adventures to play, so by clicking my special link in the description, you're gonna get the following sick rewards to have a great head start. So you will get 50,000 food to feed your monsters and have them go badass, 1 Thandenix monster, and 300,000 gold to play through the game. So you can have the game download in the background while we fire up YouTube and check out the new cinematic. YouTube, full screen, and 1, 2, 3. Blood and violence, I am shocked. YouTube, come on. Whoa, he looks exactly like Borderlands. Ooh, this is going quite action. Ooh, I like this. Is he the guy?
A toast. Minha família. Securing the future of our legacy.
Meu amor.
Oh, this is not gonna go well. What is that?
What's in there?
What is that? Ooh. What? It's a non-side. Ooh! Oh! Oh, it's so beautiful though, the colors. Ooh, what? What? Oh, this is too sick. Oh, one shot, nice. Go for it, guys. It's happening. Oh, the man. Oh.
I love you. What the hell are you?
What are you?
Death.
Oh, that was too cool, actually. Death. Oh, the glass shards, man. What? Oh no! Oh, that is crazy, man. Yeah, revenge will be your ally. Oh, that was too good, bros. Okay, what the earth did I just watch? So I'm guessing it was like the guy was like normal and then something happened to him and now he's like that cyborg looking thing, but he's like, oh, that is too good, man. Guys, please let me know in the description what is up with this character, because that was freaking sick. I loved the art style, by the way. It had that you know, I know it's not Borderlands' style, but you know, I think Borderlands was quite one of the first games to like start having that kind of look, like that shader look, if that makes any sense. And this one, man, was so sweet. It was very violent as well, like the hand. They literally showed the whole thing going through. So super sweet. I know that there are quite a few trailers, cinematics from Apex Legends. So if you guys can let me know, kind of like if there's like a normal order to go and tackle them, that would be sweet as well. So let's jump right back. I'm gonna bring in my keyboard and kind of like go through the cinematic and see what kind of like filmmaking things we can pick up from it. Now this one being kind of more of like anime drawing style is not gonna have as many things to discuss in terms of visual effects, but you never know. So let's start and take it step by step. So it's very interesting because they cut directly, but they use that kind of like drop sound effect to drop you right in. You guys check. Boom. And we're starting with kind of like a few clips here and there of like a guy getting ready. Now, we've talked about this in previous episodes, but you don't have to show the entire process of something. For example, gearing up, like John Wick, for example, getting all the bullets and all the weapons and his suit up. You can actually cut the real time of someone getting ready quite a lot and just show like key moments, like putting the tie-in, like John Wick, as we guys can see here, loading up the weapon and things like this. And that really helps with pacing. I really like the angles that they're choosing and how they're using sound design to amplify something that happens within the scene. For example, the news media are saying something and his eyes go like this. And the moment that that happens, they're putting a cold drop. I've actually used a lot sound design to propel the story or the feeling that I wanted the audience to get in Paragon Reloaded short film. And this reminds me a lot of this, of how like you can use sound to amplify what's happening, even though what's happening can be something as simple as someone staring at something. Let's go back, focus on sound. That is so interesting, man. You guys need to tell me about what's going on in his head, that how he thinks he's normal, but then he's a robot, cyborg. See? Pop, pop, pop. Super cool. They're building great tension right from the get-go, which is really impressive.
Look who it is. Popeye!
So here we have the guy that was in the kill list, let's say, and we can see him being with family.
A toast. Wymienię wam.
It's really interesting to have the contrast between that sweet, soft piano tone and you know what's coming, and they just splice in enough like quick shots of someone coming in from the window.
Securing the future of our legacy.
Man, again, the art style is just gorgeous. Like, I really love seeing this because it's so different. Like, it doesn't look 2D, it looks 3D-ish, but with 2D drawing style. It's really cool.
May want more for our daughter. What's in there?
And they're really using sound again to transition between those shots, because you cannot just have the piano and drop these scenes. It will feel too disjointed. But sound design, guys, is key. We don't talk about sound design as much on the channel. So here, I really want to stretch out its importance. Look at this, man. That's so cool. If you guys see, the sound and the piano all went quiet, and then you have the cool burst of him coming through the window, and then they instantly cut from a close-up of the window and him cracking through to really focus on it, and then they're gonna jump cut to a wider shot. See? Right here. To a wider shot of him coming in. So cool, man. So cool. And I really love the contrast of when he comes in, you can really see the warm tones and then the blue contrasting on him with the lights of the room. That is just gorgeous, man. Contrast of color, you guys are experts by now. This.
Stay calm.
I mean, he looks like freaking Terminator on Bankai mode plus Cyberpunk or linked into one. Quite sweet.
You two go.
Oh, that shot, man. Oh, I love it. So, if we go back,
You two go.
the impact is really sold by sound again, but I really like how the filmmakers choose to cut this scene together. So you have a medium wide, I would say, of the character being kick-ass, and then they want to really focus on his hand turning into like a stabbing knife-like thing. So if we go step by step, now they cut to a close-up, and you want to cut to a close-up when there is like a cool moment that's happening. For example, again in Paragon, when my character catches kind of like the other guy's knife almost stabbing him, we cut to a close-up. Now this does two things in real footage. One, it allows you to cut the fight into chunks and then edit them together so you don't have to do the whole thing in one. But more story-wise and visually-wise, it allows you to really get the audience's attention to that pivotal move, and this is what's happening here again. So they're gonna cut to the close-up, the hand is gonna turn into that, and the sound of a knife-like metal thing really sells the violence of it, and then they cut out again as he goes through and stabs the guy. Sweet. Then they give you a very wide perspective, and now we can actually tell where that blue light comes from, because you always want to have light being motivated from something that is within the scene. For example, what cinematographers do is they will place a lamp in the background, but they will actually place, just like I have done, an LED of some sorts to actually give enough luminance to the character. So here, actually, I'm having that cool vintage lamp in the background, but above it, just out of frame, there's an LED illuminating the chair and the edge light, which just some cool things to keep in mind. So here, having that cool blue, it's actually motivated within the scene by that something screen something. Oh man! Screen no more! Sick, man. I just love you. Really, what I've realized through my project is you really have to have really edgy cuts when it comes to action to really amplify the momentum of it. So here you have a gunshot, then it cuts to a really cut of like him going to like a different battle stance, and then it cuts back to the guy shooting. That really quick interchange of shots really amplifies the momentum of the fight. Oh, I'm sure this is a mechanic within the game, but how sick. How can he do this stuff? I love this. The music choice here, that kind of like vocalization of like epicness, and having kind of a one tracking shot of the subject going through everyone and just like wasting them. sorry guys, I couldn't stop that. That was just like too epic. I have no words. A really cool tracking shot of the character slaying everyone as they're coming on him just screams badass, and it's just such a cool way of like showcasing his power in terms of cinematography. This effect tiny reminds me, it's not the same, but it reminds me of my warp jump in God of War Rise of the Sun, where I turn into smoke and I like kind of like warp through space. This is a cool effect, and you can definitely do this with real life footage using After Effects, because what you will do, it is a bit tricky, but you can pull it off. So if we go frame by frame, you have the subject, there's already smoke around, so you don't have to introduce the smoke from 0 point. And then what they do, there's the gunshot, and the moment the flare ups, the actual body of the character is not there, but the smoke is, and then the smoke does dissipate. So you could do this within one frame, have the character, have some visual effects already taking place like smoke, and then the moment where the gun happens, you have the flare, you have the cool flash of light, and that really bright contrast will trick your eyes, and you can actually remove the character if you, for example, shot him in front of a green screen or something, and then just have the smoke particles and kind of like evaporate through. Like that transition of just using the muzzle flash to cut between the character being there and not being there is really smart.
Get out of here!
Nice. Oh, hey, that is so cool. I really like this shot as well. You can technically see her behind him as he goes through the guys using the other guy's weapon. Here, you can see her right there aiming down on him, and then it cuts to the shoulder shot, and you just have a cool spark. Being a cyborg, you can really easily do this with like a cool spark hit because there's no really blood involved. So he turns around. I love how they've placed him dead in the center. Then they cut to a close-up to really show you the eyes and that cool character turn of like, oh, you dead. Let me guess. The girl is gonna come into play at some point later. A really cool contrast actually. How he came up through the other window, went through everyone, and then his kill hit is gonna go through the other window and then die.
What the hell are you?
Death. Oh, so cool. Again, they don't actually show this one's kind of like neck getting snapped, but the sound is so effective.
What
And there's no other sound if you guys notice, it's just like a bit of an air breeze.
the hell are you?
Sick! They really focus on how the glass shard is in his neck now. And this is just so well made, man. How this transition in the reflection, how they go from one shoulder transitioning over to the other shoulder, and the reflection now becomes human. Oh, that's too good, man. Another flashback of a room actually being absolutely demolished, like there was nothing there. That is just so sick, man. And I really like this effect that they've implemented, as if he's looking through his own memories, and so he has that like lens crack effect, but they've also incorporated that red hue as well as the slight glass crack and this distortion at the edges here. Now, this reminds me, when you play FPS games and you're getting hit, they usually try to showcase the amount of damage you've taken, but how red and how distortion, that kind of like vignette of red and blood comes in. but it really works in this kind of like flashback section. Really sweet. Of course, you can easily do this. I've kind of implemented a similar kind of like distortion effect in the edges when it came again to Paragon, and how the scouting drone was looking when we were looking through its perspective. It was a different take, but the kind of like techniques behind it are quite similar. That is so creepy, man. I just love it. That was so sweet. That's why I think the girl is gonna come into play, because they're focusing on her being in like the vendetta mode now. Yeah. Like the cinematic, guys. Like this video as well. And that was just so sweet. Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section what was up with the character. Make sure to check out Monster Legend for sponsoring today's episode. It's a pretty sweet game. And let me know, guys, what comes next. I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe we'll make an Apex Legends series on the channel. Stay awesome and creative, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.